All right, I want to talk to you a little bit about the indictment on Donald Trump. Now, to be honest with you, I spent 2 weeks on vacation, and just like if you're an accountant, you don't even want to look at the bill at dinner time because you don't want to worry about those numbers. I was like that with the news. People kept coming up to me. Did you hear? All I heard was, did you hear what they did to Donald Trump? I heard that over and over and over again. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying attention to the news for 2 weeks. And it was nice. However, I have to be honest with you. I haven't done all of my research to have a legal point of view on what is happening. I've read really good opinions on this a violation of federal law, the indictment is, and I have heard, from Dershowitz that, no, they actually have a really good case this time. I don't know. I don't want to talk to you about the law because I'm not there yet. Let me just tell you what I think this is really about. This is not really truly about anything other than, one, for those who have truly gone insane, putting Trump in jail. They will put him in jail. I believe that there was a dust-up last week because Fox News said a wannabe dictator, right?
Yeah, a producer that put that chyron up was fired over it.
Oh, good. Well, Things are looking up at Fox.
Right.
Things are looking up at Fox.
Yep.
Okay, so would-be dictator. I saw Tucker Carlson. I watched something that he did on Twitter about this, and he's absolutely right. It was brilliantly done, and he's absolutely right. He's, a wannabe dictator puts his enemies and his foes in jail, and they'll do anything they have to teach anybody who's running against a lesson. We'll put you in jail. It's not, well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Let me be kind. It's a really crazy coincidence that this happened on the same day that it was released that, looks like maybe $10 million in bribery and we got the goods on Joe Biden and his son. Same day. So what is this really about? This is misdirection. And I want you to listen really carefully because there are many facets to this. It's about misdirection on the Biden crimes. It is about putting Donald Trump in jail, but maybe not for the reason you think or even the people on the left think. It is misdirection on the economy. It is misdirection on the dollar. It is misdirection on the war, on really everything that actually matters. Okay? That's really what the pride flag thing is about, too. It's not really in support of gay pride. It's really not. It's really not. You wouldn't be forcing this. I went over to London. There wasn't a government building without the gay pride flag. Not one. Not one. There were government buildings without a British flag, but a gay pride flag. It's incredible. Everyone is in lockstep. And it doesn't have anything to do with gay rights. I mean, I got a lot of gay friends. I got a lot of black friends too. I know you can't say that but I know a lot of gay people. I hire gay people. Doesn't matter. They tell me the same thing, one after another. This is out of control. This is out of control. It's not about gay rights anymore. This Trump thing is not about Donald Trump, certainly not about the law. It is about one of two things when it comes to him. Either ensuring he's the candidate, again, I don't know on the legal side yet, ensuring he's the candidate by stirring it all up or putting him in jail. But let's go with ensuring that Trump is the candidate. I don't know if you've seen this, but over the weekend, I think somebody in Congress started talking about, are you a Romney Republican or a Trump Republican? Now, notice they didn't say a Ron DeSantis Republican, okay? It's a Romney Republican. This is coming from the GOP. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Are you a Romney Republican? Meaning, I think, a reasonable Republican, one that will compromise, one that will work to get things done. Or are you a crazy person? First of all, let's just go on this. That's a false choice. Okay? Romney is that's the other side? Why aren't you saying a DeSantis Republican? And I'm not a DeSantis, Trump, or Romney Republican. I'm a constitutional voter. I don't care. I don't care about their personalities. I care about which one will actually protect and defend the Constitution of the United States and not abuse the Constitution to protect the Constitution. You know, we had to violate the the free market to save the free market. No, that doesn't work. You can't violate the Constitution to save the Constitution. But what this is about enraging enough Americans. Period. Enraging you. First of all, really? You want to play this game about putting people in jail? You're going to put him in jail for documents that he had, and you're still telling us there's nothing to do with your son? Really? Outrageous. Injustice. Inequality. You name it. Enraging. That's really, I think, what this is all about. They need you. They need you to be enraged. That's honestly why everything that is going on, that's why they keep poking and poking and poking and poking at you. There is no other choice. It is their way or you're out. Met with a guy in Scotland, Neil Oliver. He was a huge BBC presenter. He's like the Indiana Jones of Scotland and Britain, okay? He's an archaeologist, a historian, commentator. He did BBC documentary after BBC documentary, well-known, loved in England. He's been canceled. And I mean, as a human being, he has been canceled. He has lost everything, because he spoke out against COVID. And then when they started pushing back on him, he was like, why are you pushing back so hard on COVID? What else are you doing? And he's telling the truth. And he's telling the British people, you better wake up. And they are destroying him and his life. They have to silence people and get you to be enraged. Because the one thing I heard over and over, which surprised me, Christian nationalism. I keep hearing Christian nationalism. I've never heard Christian nationalism. Never in my whole life. And I've been to all the secret meetings with the GOP. I've never heard Christian nationalism. But I want you to know it's real. It's real. And they are creating it just as they did the last time this happened. But they waited until it was over. I don't think they saw the opportunity at the beginning. This time, they see the opportunity. What happened after World War II? Hitler suddenly became a Christian. Nazism was Christian nationalists. Socialism was nowhere to be found. It was a Christian nationalist movement. No, it was a socialist nationalist movement. That's what that was. But they changed. Everything became about Christians. And what did they do? While Stalin gets away scot-free, killing more people than Hitler, not to diminish Hitler in any way, Stalin kills more people. Mao kills many more people than Stalin killed, not to diminish Stalin's killing. And yet the one we always talk about is Hitler. Why? Because that's the one they could make into a Christian nationalist, I'm convinced. Otherwise, they have to explain communism and socialism and why it always leads to deaths. If they can get you to talk about this one, they can get you to talk about Christian nationalism. And let me be very, 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 very clear. Hitler was not a Christian. But this was, in some ways, a religious movement, just like what we're seeing in America is a religious movement. There are new gods being introduced, okay? And you must bow down to those gods. You must pray at their church or you will be destroyed. I was just in England where I saw what happened with the churches. The Reformation, King Henry VIII, all of that. People have already fought this battle over and over and over again. We're fighting it. Everything that was fought over there, we just take for granted now. Oh, yeah, that's always been that way. No, never has been. Never has been. They have to create the image and the atmosphere of national Christianity, Christian nationalists. They must, the image and the atmosphere. Let me explain that in 60 seconds. The one thing that you really need to understand, I think I tweeted out last week, I was at the London School of Economics. And some people go, oh, that's where Hyatt was, did his work. No, it's where George Soros does all of his work. And in the courtyard, the main courtyard, they have this globe. It's gigantic, okay? And it's upside down. The North Pole is the South Pole. South Pole is the North Pole. United States is on the bottom. All of those countries that have had social injustice and inequity happen to them are on the top of the world. They are literally turning the world upside down, okay? You have to understand that nothing is coincidental. Nothing is coincidental. I don't understand how people can think that these are conspiracy theories when they are so well out into the open and have been done over and over and over again. I mean, look at history. It's the same story over again. But each time, for some reason, like if you read the Bible, you're like, these people are dumb as a box of rocks. 20 pages ago. Do you not remember? No, apparently not. Apparently not. So let me go back to the Donald Trump indictment. Except let me take you instead not to Florida. Let me take you to Los Angeles. This is truly what were those nuns, the trans nuns for whatever?
Yeah, something of a perpetual indulgence.
Yeah, whatever. That's what this was all about. This was not about the gay movement. This was not about the rainbow. This was not. This was intentionally trying to get the atmosphere for Christian nationalism. So what happened? The Dodgers trans show, they did it, but the left needs to create the villain that they created after the Second World War, that Hitler that is Christian. So what do? They get people to react, and thank God, thousands of people did react, and they showed up at Dodger Stadium, and they were peaceful. They were peaceful, exactly the way you need to be. You need to stand up, but you must stand in the gospel of Jesus Christ, which is peace. But they're creating the atmosphere. So far, we haven't played into it except for January 6th, and that was a very small number of people. Here's the real problem. Why would we think our church leaders, who are men, the people who lead us, why would we think that they will be stronger than us? How many times have you caved? Have I caved? How many times have we been conned or remained silent because we have too much to lose? Think about the leaders of our faiths, what they have to lose, the position that they are in. How many are going to actually stand up in that storm? That's exactly what happened when they created the Christian nationalist back in the 1940s. You must stand up and return to God, the gospel, and the Bill of Rights.